What is up, everybody? In this video, we're going to talk about the prophetic call of wisdom and hopefully build up to our last couple sessions. Again, I'm going through these very quick, but it's exciting. It's something that I've studied for a while, and I wanted to share them with you all. I hope it makes sense. I hope it flows up just a little bit, And I'm very thankful to have this opportunity. I'm going to start with Isaiah 33, verse 5 and 6. Just give a little context and share a little bit of why I believe this can be taken and applied to our lives and the generation we live in. The Lord is exalted, for he dwells on high. He has filled Zion with justice and righteousness. Wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of your times and the strength of your salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Again, wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of your times. Of course, some scholars apply this passage to only be applicable to 701 BC. They only apply it to ancient Judah and Assyria. My question is, for those who view this passage as just historical, which I believe it is historical, of course, couldn't the principles and truths be used for another generation facing another national crisis or some sort of crisis? Don't those truths transcend generational time? And can they be found for strength to those who are facing crises yet ahead? I can imagine these truths of strength, knowledge, and stability are not only for ancient Judah, but also for the people of God throughout history and then up to today and in the future. I believe that because that's not the only interpretation of Isaiah 33 and 32. Others have shared a different perspective that those can be applied then and currently. So you can take the historical principles that apply to them, of course, that also apply to your own life and the own generation, whatever national crisis you are facing. I think of Psalms 23, just for an example to help hopefully solidify my point, a famous and dear psalm to many, maybe one of the most famous passages besides John 3:16 and I don't know, a few others. Psalms 23 is pretty well known. If we applied these truths to David during his kingship, then Psalms 23 wouldn't be so near and dear anymore if we only applied them to David. With correct understanding of the passage and its context, we are then able to apply those and find our own lives in the story. That's a massive part of the power of Psalm 23. Think of Psalm 23, if you only applied it to the kingship of David in his life, that God led him to green pastures, and he's only David's shepherd, then the massive part of it is that he's our shepherd. He leads Keegan to green pastures and still waters. He leads you to green pastures and still waters. He anoints your head with oil in the presence of your enemies. Not just David. Of course, he did David as well. With correct understanding, we're able to glean from a here and now lives as we understand that it is written for ancient Judah with an eschatological implication. Another example is Jesus speaking to disciples about him coming back for them. Now, do we just say that Jesus is coming back for the 12 apostles, or do we say he's coming back for the global church? Two completely different things. With proper understanding of the context, we say he's coming back for the church at large. John 14:1-3. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, also believe in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions. If not so, I would not have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, you may be there also. Now, Jesus is clearly speaking to his 12 disciples. If he's saying this to them and just them, I mean, they've been long gone. They're long gone. But we believe he's saying it to anyone who believes in him. We're now his disciples. So similarly, in Isaiah, I'm just giving a little context and why I believe that these principles, because it says wisdom and will be the stability of your times. Now, that was a promise for Israel in the Assyrian attacks, but it also, I believe, is a promise for you today and will be a promise for those in the days ahead. Again, with proper understanding, we can apply these truths to our lives. What Jesus says, what Psalms 23 says, and I believe what Isaiah is saying in Isaiah 33. So the prophetic call of wisdom is to answer that very question. To know prophetically that we are living in a time and we're being prepared for what's coming. If wisdom is the stability of us in the days ahead in the church, we should probably get wisdom. I mean, with that perspective, wisdom goes from a nice idea to a biblical command with an urgent, desperate desire for the spirit of wisdom in our lives. A cry is in us, and I believe God is putting it inside of us of the parable of Matthew 25 for true wisdom and understanding for the days we live in. Daniel also prophesies about a people who will know their God and do great exploits. I call it understanding unto impartation. Daniel says that you will learn righteousness. Or no, excuse me. Those who know their God will be strong and carry great exploits, and those people of understanding will instruct many. Ecclesiastes 8:1 talks about people who knows the explanation of things. Jeremiah 23:20 is another one. Daniel 10:14, the angel came to give an eschatological vision of the end times. And then he says, I came to give understanding of what will happen. So he breaks down the whole vision, what all this means. And at the very end, he says, I came to give understanding of what will happen in the latter days. Understanding is the key word. Daniel 10:14. I think of Psalms 2. Oh my gosh, the whole Psalms 2 decree. I'm just flying through these, but these are so deep. The whole point and context and plot of Psalms 2 is for the command after all of that, the nations of the earth raging, all the kings of the earth raging, the scenes going forth. You see the end of Psalms 2, the one command, the one instruction given is be wise. Be wise. That's the one command in Psalms 2. I don't think that's talked about enough. Okay, we get the context and understanding. We get what's going on a little bit. We read it, but the instruction is be wise. This goes from a way more that a nice little like we need to get wisdom. I want to be wise. I'm making decisions to like we must get wisdom. It's urgent for me to get wisdom. I need the spirit of wisdom. I want it. I want it. I want it. Bless you.